Alright guys, back to another video, and this time we're going to be going over my updated cooler build for set 14. This deck has changed quite a bit for set 14, more than I thought it would. And this is also a rough draft. I've been testing hands with this and stuff like that. In theory, the strategy behind this one works a lot more consistently. It solved some of the issues that I was having. So let's go ahead and get into it. Standard Cooler Leader, attack, draw a card. You neg your opponent's battle card, more than one card for each instance. And if it's a battle card that you're using to neg a battle card, you draw one card, and then 4 less life, untap one, draw one. Backside, same exact effect, except where the draw effect works on your turn and your opponent's turn. So, and this whenever he attacks anything, he can draw a card on the backside. So you want to get to this side quick, but not that quick. So make sure you try to get it like turn 3 and try to awaken on your own terms on your opponent's turn. So save that awakening. It's really nice, and you don't really need to kill with like actual attacks, so that's something to note. You can, but that's not one of the goals. A lot of matchups you do just need to deck them out because of how fast the format is. Standard red-blue engine for cooler, 4 of your check land, 4 Majin Buu, and Hercule. This card draws 2 on your opponent's turn and recycles a lot of red and blue cards that you want to go back to your hand, which is really nice. Winter coolers, gotta have them. I finally got these bad boys whenever I went to the regionals, and topped the regionals, so really nice. This card is the card you want to see, but you need to see your super combo for this card to really be like useful. So make sure you're really careful when you play this deck, because if you clog your hand with a bunch of 10Ks without way to untap your energy and stuff like that, you will be stuck with them in your hand. 3 copies of Combo Tech Cooler. I did trim it down for this build specifically. Typically I play 4, but he's fine at 3 for this specific build. And I trimmed down Death's Embrace because I was finding myself not playing it as often, but it is a built-in win con against certain decks that are really slow, and you can just keep pinging whatever they put on board. I will probably side a 3rd copy against certain matchups, so keep that in mind. This is mainly a 2 because of room purposes, and you also need a target for Combo Tech Cooler like this for to be really consistent at putting it on board, because sometimes you are without your super combo. But this build tries to mitigate that as much as possible. And to explain further, we have 4 copies of Son Gohan Ultimate Essence. So if you don't know what this card does, it's from set 14. This is the SPR art, and this is the regular art. Both are cool, but I need 2 more SPRs. But this card, when it's played, you look at the top 5 cards and you grab a Universe 7 card, would cost 4 or less, and add it to your hand, or you can grab a Unison would cost 2, a red one that is. So this solves a lot of problems. It helps you find this card, your Beer Super Combo, which is very important to see. Without this card in your hand, you would probably just lose the game. If you don't see this card, you probably lose, like very shortly after not seeing this card early on. So you need to make sure you see this card. Sometimes I've got to the point where I just play this on turn 2 so that I can see one. Because tapping 2 for a Unison when you're tapped out and you don't have this card in your hand, it's kind of scary. So, especially in this fast format. So keep that in mind. We'll keep these targets out here so you can see what all the targets are. And I play 4 copies of your SPR Piccolo Jr. Descent of the King. This is your draw. And then it also can kill things too to help clear the board, but mainly just draw. You like this. This deck doesn't have the strongest draw early game, so this card just sticking around every turn. And if they don't go after your leader, that's also a plus. And a lot of times they will just swing at this. So he does his job. He will stop 3 attacks because they're going to swing at him, and gives you another turn, and then you just play another one the turn after. It doesn't really matter. But he does his job. He draws draws a card or 2, or sometimes 3 or more, and then he does the most for the deck, because you really need to see your super combos and really see your coolers. So drawing many cards helps. And then you got 1 copy of Android 18. Best technique. If you don't know what this does, you combo with it, you can discard an extra card, and this card gains escape power. So this will help you to play defense. It's a blue card to combo with. I do think you need at least 4 copies of blue cards inside of your deck, minimum, to help your rival, just in case you don't see your super combo. So this is basically just an extra target. But the Gohan helps you not have to worry about your super combos much, so it's really useful. Then 2 copies of Son Goku Divine Presence. This is a extra beam, dual attack, deflect card. Also can help help clear boards, and it's just a really good aggressive card. This card in combo with Combo Attack Cooler can help you end the game. Just a good card. You could technically switch this out for Kaioken Gokus, but I do not think that card is very good in this format, and I'd rather have something that's a searchable target that can actually do something for 2 energy other than just kill something. This card can just kill things as well as try to end the game if your opponent puts himself in a low life, especially on a clapback. If you don't know how he plays, so you pay 2 for him when you have 3 or more energy, and it's when you only pay 2 to play him during the battle. Whenever you have 2 red cards in your combo area, I'm thinking about playing the one from the starter deck as a Gohan that requires 2 mono red cards, which is kind of a pain. Or I would probably play it over it because it minus something by 10k. So this card's really nice, but it may be swapped out later on. I just need to test play more with it. It's also just a target, so I'm going to swap it out for another Universe 7 target if I don't end up liking it that much. 4 Beam, this is one of the best cards in this deck, especially helps you spam arrivals on your opponent's turn. 3, Testing the Opposition. I did bump this card up to 3. This card actually really helps Cooler a lot because I've kind of found that people really just want to swing at my Unison over and over and over. So I sometimes think that delaying the Unison on turn 3 is more useful, so that your opponent's forced to attack your leader rather than your Unison, so they get you to 5 and they'll try to stall you once you play your Unison, and here, boom, Testing Oppositions. And this card also is a 5k combo card, skillless, correct me if I'm wrong. So whenever you put this on board and you want to combo it away while you have this guy on board, you will draw a card because he says if you comboed a skillless card. Okay, never mind, doesn't count. Disregard. I thought I was on something spicy, but because it's not kind of a red card, so disregard. But this card just becomes a token with blocker, and also is a 5k combo, so helps you to play defense, as well as make sure you awaken, because they will try to stall you. So you gotta be a little more tactical. 2 Death Balls. This card is phenomenal at the current format. Just helps you in the game, and or just helps you defend against those hefty swings. So if your opponent swings at you for a total of 35, single or double, whatever, you can just Death Ball, and you minus it 10, and then plus by 15, puts you to in total of 25 combo essentially for 1 energy, which is really nice. And you got 4 Yamcha for the Unison support because it's a Unison based deck, and it's not bad to have extra like red charges because that is one of the decks feeds off of, and you want combo power in the form of red. 2 Wolfang Fists, probably will side the other copies. It's a good card. And then you got 2 King Piccolo New Ruler. This card, you are playing a Unison deck, and sometimes you need Double Strike to help clear a Unison or kill them. So keep that in mind, that this deck will try to kill them sometimes, or just try to pressure your opponent to be in a position where they have to start using their cards in their hand, which is why he's there. He's 20k Double Strike, they can't block. Then you got one of the cards that made this deck a little better. So I got a Topo that is generic. If you don't know what this card does, it's a blocker. It costs 2 whenever it's your opponent's turn, regardless of what your leader is. And you pitch a card to play it blocker. And if your opponent wants to attack any more for this turn, they have to mill 4 cards from the top of their deck. So this is a turn stopper. If they do continue to attack, you can block, or you can just utilize your super combos and stuff like that. And then you have Super Saiyan 3 Go Tanks. SCR, so this board wipes, if you know what it does, it's made for Cooler essentially. You hit minus 25, ignoring barrier to everything, and then +1 on your opponent's turn. If they attack with a battle card, you can minus it by 25. So this will literally, once you secure this card on the board, and say for example you do this on your Awakening turn, there's really nothing they can do. Or you can just wait until you have a super combo in your hand to play this, and you're safe. It's really good. You can play this on 5 and -4 and go triple strike dual attack. He does have a dual attack blocker, so you can attack 25, pressure, keep him inactive, and then swing 25 on the next turn to keep him active. Or you can just go dual attack, and help pressure the cards on your opponent's hand, because you will. Most players try to take cards out of their life to go low to pressure you, because they don't want to draw cards from their deck because they're scared of decking out. Do note that this deck does struggle against decks that cannot deck out. Like Baby Hatch, that is like, no, sorry, not Baby Hatch and Vegex do have a decent matchup against this deck. Green can kill off your 1-drops, which is not that big of a deal in this deck now, but typically your real struggles are early game aggro in the form of Vegex, and if you can't establish an early enough super combo rival setup and then draw into more of them, more super combos to play defense, it will be a struggle to play against other like red weenie decks where they're trying to spam the red, like Bardock's Crew and stuff like that. But you do have the form of removal on Yamcha, which does help. So if you can establish a unit earlier and then side in more Wolfang Fist, you can help clear those boards. So keep that in mind. Thank you guys for watching once again, and smash that like button and comment down below which video you want to see next. I am working on quite a few red and blue variants of decks from set 14, and just comment which one do you want to see first. See you guys in the next video. Deuces.